or going after something. Nivritti is going away from something. You go away from something. Why? Because ultimately you don't want to feel miserable, unhappy. So what you are essentially seeking is unhappiness. When that is not going to come from something, you withdraw from it. You withdraw from it. So both pravritti and nivritti in life is for the sake of happiness alone, for the sake of joy alone. But often a human being, a person forgets that happiness really or joy is not a particular object. He or she doesn't have this insight. In mad rush, people are pursuing objects, things, situations, people, and also happiness as if it were to be an object, as if it is an object. Vedanta gives this great insight, even though it's very common sense thing, but we often do not think about it, that happiness is not an object. Or a person or a modern person is terming experiences, certain experiences as objects, as happiness. One is, first you are pursuing objects thinking that happiness is objects itself. At certain point, a person recognizes that object and happiness are two different things. They're not related. So now a modern person, if you go ask any youngster, he or she is not really pursuing objects. See, if you see elderly generation, they're so materialistic. Always object orientation. They collect lot of objects. If you go into a 50-year-old person's room or 60-year-old person's room, there are so many things. So many things. Because the orientation was happiness is but objects, or happiness lies in possession of objects. You go into a teenager's room today, you don't have too many things. One smartphone, one laptop, one guitar, and a few clothes. That's all. And they really think that we are not Amma, I'm not materialistic. I don't want. So Amma wants to buy a gold chain for the daughter or a ring for the son. They both say, no, I'm not into all this. I really don't like all this. I don't want. But that youngster has designated happiness into experiences. In experiences. Goa, an experience. So gold chain, no. So in one way they have evolved, they have recognized that happiness is not an object, it does not lie in objects. But then now they have attributed happiness into experiences of the world. Some experience, some different experience I want. Not the regular one, not the regular thing. So a modern youngster or a modern person is in search of experiences where he has designated or attributed happiness into experiences. But you see, you observe both the pursuits there. Now, finally, does person find satisfaction? Does that person find joy or happiness in objects or experiences? No. The person is tired. You go for an experience of a foreign country, only wanting curd rice all the time. And you come back, you're waiting, when will I come back home? When will I come back home? So finally, all our conclusions are limited, wrong, opposite to even our own anubhava. In fact, we're in search of things, but nowhere we are unable to find everlasting peace and happiness, peace and joy. So the search is continuing, all the time continues. But one person, few people recognize the limitation in this kind of pursuit of objects or pursuit of situations a pursuit of people. For some people, happiness is in the family members or relationships, etc., etc. One fine day, they're very bitter because that relationship into which they invested a lot is no more there. There's no same response from the other person. It could be spouse, it could be brother, it could be sister, it could be mother. So you don't find the same response anymore. So the person is bitter, unable to find anywhere. Such a person recognizes that in all my pursuits, I'm unable to find everlasting peace and joy. Maybe I should change the direction in which I am searching. So all the time I'm searching outwardly, I'm extroverted. Now I search within. So this has to be understood. Searching within doesn't necessarily mean sitting and closing your eyes and searching somewhere. So Pujya Swamiji used to ask, then searching inner, inside you, where? In the kidney. Where? Inside your kidneys or heart, where? So it's a figurative expression, meaning now you have recognized the limitation in being extroverted, always facing to indriyas towards the world. Now I turn within and examine my life. Turning within means examining my life. That is vichara, turning within. Even a scientist, externally, outwardly may seem that he's all the time facing outwardly to the world. No, you see lives of great scientists, or people related to them. They always in their biography or something, they write that this person was all the time examining with a pile of papers and the books on his desk or inside the laboratory or the room. Meaning what? There is continuous vichara. So in Vedantic sense, the turning inward is vichara, turning towards vichara, inquiry. So an Upanishad is an inquiry. Inquiry, as I said yesterday, into Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Bandha, Moksha. Into these five aspects. So this particular person or a group of people who have recognized that, they recognize the limitations of the external world in our search for satisfaction or happiness, having recognized the limitation, turn towards vichara. And where is that vichara? For that vichara, the source books are Vedas. The source books are the Upanishads. The rishis were great scientists of inner world. So they have done a lot of vichara and they have documented all the vichara in the form of samvada between Guru and Shishya in Upanishads. So the Upanishads are source book for this vichara. And we are turning towards the Upanishad Pramana for exploration. Again, Veda never says, okay, happiness is here. Okay, now take it. No, you explore, you find. Now, we have used all the capabilities, all the senses, all the abilities available to examine the world or go towards object experiences, situations, people in the world. We have used eyes, we have used ears, pramanas. Pramana means what? That which gives you knowledge of a particular thing. So the Rupa Jnana is given by eyes. So we have used all the senses available to us in order to explore, enjoy, experience all the objects, situations, people, places in the world. So has it given the permanent happiness? If it has given, no need of Vedanta. No need of Vedanta. We saw that no. Or we have certain other means of knowledge available at our hand. We can use telescopes, microscopes, enhance the same uh, indriyas which we have. Has that given? Has that given? No. So once I met one elderly person in their 85s or above that. So that person could not hear properly. The hearing has diminished because of the age. So the doctor has given a hearing aid to that person. The person is wearing that and then transacting. And you know, those who know about hearing aids know that it not only gives the sound, it has noise of its own. It has flavor of its own. So that also keeps adding. So a person was using the hearing aid and transacting. Next, after a few months, I met that person. Now that person has removed the hearing aid. Now totally in whatever possibility of transaction, that person is transacting. So I asked why, with all my sign language, loud speech, everything, I asked, why are you not wearing the hearing aid? I have heard enough. It's okay now that hearing aid makes a noise of its own. It's annoying. I don't want. I'm fine. I'm fine. So the person, so at 80, 85, the person has concluded, I have heard enough. I've heard enough. I have seen enough. It's okay. I have my own life, my own lifestyle. I'll go forward. So similar is the Vedantic student. He is not going to stop hearing aid or using spectacles or something. It's not that. The purport is to understand somewhere that alam buddhi, alam means enough. Okay, I have explored enough. I have seen enough. I have tried enough. With all the pramanas available to me. Pratyaksha, all ityadi pramanas. Anumana, inference. So you infer something using the same sense organs. So all that is done, now let me change the direction of my inquiry, change the direction of my pursuit. Such a person has turned inward meaning into vichara. That's why he takes the refuge of Upanishad Pramana. Now, Upanishad is also another means of knowledge which gives us jnanam, which gives us knowledge. So Veda itself is a source book for knowledge. So the first portion of Veda, which is the Karma Kanda, also gives us knowledge about rituals, about meditations, about how to live one's life. But the Upanishad Pramana is of a different kind. It is giving knowledge about our own true self. That's why we take the refuge of Upanishad. Just as different students and students approach the guru, meaning the knowledge in the Mundakopanisad presents that Brahmaji gave this knowledge first to Atharva, then Atharva Maharshi gave it to Angira Maharshi. Angira Maharshi gave this knowledge to Bharadwaja Maharshi. Bharadwaja Maharshi gave it to Shaunaka Maharshi, and Shaunaka Maharshi finally gives this knowledge to Angirasa Maharshi. So the parampara is also stated. And yesterday we saw in a mantra that all these students properly approached the Guru. Properly approached the Guru means with right attitude, with right preparedness, and as per the tradition of the time. What is the norm of the time? So that is one aspect. Another aspect is the attitude. So external symbolic culture, cultural practice, and not only that, should not end there. It should also have a parallel of attitude. So what has happened in some of the institutions or in our own setups of Sanatana Dharma, the cultural practice is there, attitude is missing. Cultural practice of doing namaskar or offering flower or fruit or this, that, all that is intact. But unfortunately, the attitude is purely missing. So recently, somebody had come and we were discussing that, yes, lot of people are there in our temples today. You go to any many temple around, lot of people are there at the temples. Definitely very good, very much required. But often you don't find the attitude which has to be there. You got to have, when you're going for Bhagavan's darshan, you push the other person. You push the other person. Chappals get stolen. Big problem. Among what? Among people who come to visit the particular occasion. Or sometimes a person is so busy, so involved, he or she wears some other person's chappal, having gone towards the two-wheeler or car, recognizes it's somebody else's. Fine, okay, chalo, some chappal I've got. Let me go. Let me go where. So cultural practice is also very important, because the practice is there in order to imbibe the attitude. So if we make it dry without the attitude, external form or culture just being there is not going to help anybody, not going to help you or family or Sanatana Dharma as the whole. Sanatana Dharma as the whole. So the attitude with which we approach the Shastra is very important. Attitude is very important. Not a casual attitude towards the Shastra. Not just some inquisitiveness or some curiosity of what is there in the Upanishad. That also you can. But if you're approaching the Upanishad for the purpose of moksha, for the purpose of gaining satisfaction, true happiness and true meaning, then the attitude with which you connect to the Shastra, the Guru, is of bhakti, a reverential attitude, shraddha. That is the shraddha. So we modern people, what is happening is Vedanta is trying to be presented as something unconnected with the rooted tradition, cultural practice, as though it is separated intellectual inquiry. No, it is not. There may be some Vijnana Ananda. You see, when you solve a Sudoku puzzle, you have some Ananda. Oh, wow, very nice. Then you explored and saw some few commentaries of Upanishad and you understood something. Wow, you feel good. That's it. That's it about her. That's all it is going to give, that intellectual pursuit. No. For us, it is something deeper. It is that of a reverential exploration. Reverential exploration. That's why we have for that exploration, we have a word in Shastra as Mimamsa, as an inquiry. Mimamsa is not just some intellectual inquiry. It's a reverential inquiry which is backed with reverence towards the Shastra. That is the Mimamsa. So all of these Maharshis who approached their gurus are in the Vedanta Mimamsa. In fact, another name for Vedanta is Uttara Mimamsa. Another name for Vedanta is Uttara Mimamsa. All these great students approached the Guru duly with right attitude, and one such student who came to the who comes to his Guru and asks the famous question. Shaunaka Maharshi asks this famous question: Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. So he asks his Guru this question, and to this question the Guru answers. So he says, Tasmai sahovacha dve vidye veditavye itiha smayad brahmavido vadanti parachaiva paracha. One ought to know two kinds of knowledge. One is the aparavidya and other is the paravidya. And Maharshi said, his Guru said, what all is aparavidya? Whatever gives you knowledge about the Vyavaharik world, is the Apara Vidya. You add the Vedic Vidya because it is the Vedic time where the Upanishad is being presented. That's why Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Vyakarana, Shiksha, Kalpa, Ityadi, because at that time. So now you add science, commerce, mathematics, music, anything you want to add, all that you add in it. And Maharshi is saying, Dve Vidye Veditavye. You ought to know. You ought to know the world also. Only when you deeply know the world also can you understand the limitation of it. Only when you explore the knowledge of the Vyavaharik world, you can know the limitation of that knowledge also. Math to, science to, whatever applicable to you. So then finally, the Guru is telling, then what is this Paravidya? So we are all interested in Paravidya because this is all known and seen enough. Atha Para. Now I'm going to teach the Paravidya. What is that? Yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. That knowledge through which you understand the Akshara Brahma. Akshara Brahma. That Brahman, that reality, Brahman means reality. That knowledge through which you understand that reality. And what is that reality? The reality as a adjective here, Aksharam. That which does not perish. That which does not perish. You see, in the world, anything you take perishes. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu, Shri Krishna Bhagavad Gita. That which has birth will have death also. That is a truth of life. The sooner we understand this, sooner we accept the world as what it is, In fact, everything perishes. That is one insight, that is one truth of life, and everything is perishing. Some of us have this insight, everything perishes, everything has an end. That we clearly understand. As even we are sitting, as even we finish 2 hours of our class, we have aged by 2 hours. The body is perishing. As even the tomato or the apple is sitting, it is perishing. We are no different. We are no different. See, the problem with humans is that, and this transformation, this perishing, the process of perishing which is happening, it is not very fast. It is time-wise, if you bring in the factor of time, it is spread across 50 years, spread across 40 years, or spread across 80 years, whatever is the lifespan of a person. So we are unable to really appreciate this truth, this insight, that as even we are, the body is perishing. So as even we are seeing the expiry date of a very important ingredient, or a New Zealand apple that we know in 3 days it is perishing, so I better consume it. We get that sense of urgency towards the apple, towards the food cooked in the morning. But we don't get the same attitude towards the life, the gift of life, the gift of body, the gift of mind that we have. We don't have the sense of urgency. But a mumukshu has that sense of urgency, who has recognized the mumukshu now, who has an ichcha, a desire to be free, desire to gain ultimate happiness, now has that sense of urgency to know the meaning of life, to know the truth about life, to gain freedom and happiness in this very life. That person is a mumukshu. That sense of urgency is there. Janaka Maharaja was once sleeping, and then he got a dream. In that dream, he has lost a war to the enemy king, and now the enemy Sainya or the army is chasing him. So he's running in the forest and he's very, very thirsty. And he's running and suddenly he has a fall. And with a thud, he wakes up from the sleep. Now he's doing vichara. All the ministers are waiting for work to be done, signatures to be put, decisions to be made. But Janaka is sitting. Janaka is sitting, doing vichara. What is that vichara? For days together, his vyavahara was little different. And the Ashtavakra, great Maharshi, comes into the court of Janaka, and reverentially Janaka Maharaja does namaskara to Ashtavakra and immediately asks him, is this waking world the reality where I am a big king, or the dream in which I was running away from my kingdom in search of water, is that real? What is that? What is real? He had a sense of urgency to inquire, and immediately, whenever at the earliest, when he found a guru, he asked this question. And the Ashtavakra Gita is a reply to that question. So what is real? So basically, what is the question of Janaka is what is real? What is reality? So that is the same question here also of the Shishya, and the Guru is answering that Brahman and the knowledge about that Brahman, Akshara Brahman, that which does not perish, is the Paravidya. Paravidya is everything else. Paravidya is knowledge about this imperishable Aksharam Brahma. Aksharam Brahma. So everything else, everything is perishing in the world. You hold on to anything, it is falling apart as even you are holding to it. So let me hold on to something which is imperishable, which is imperishable. See, what is our support system? We think that it will not perish. So we are holding on to few houses or few people. But many people have that experience already that it perishes. So even we need not learn everything from our own mistakes. We can learn from others' mistakes also, observing life also. So here is a student who is seeking Akshara Brahma. What is that Akshara Brahma? Now, furthermore, Rishi is answering to that question in a different way. He is coming to that question, knowing which everything else is as well known. And what is that? What is that knowledge? What is that thing? Rishi is answering. You can repeat after me. Yattadadreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushrodram tad apanipadam nityam vibhum sarvagatam sukshmam tad avyayam yad bhutayonim paripashyanti dhiraha. Sorry, paripashyanti dhiraha. So the answer is hidden in the answer to the question is hidden in this mantra. That's why Upanishad is also called by the name Rahasyam. Rahasyam means secret. Secret is what? Something which you have to understand, something which is to be told. And that secret is always there in something which is hidden. Secret means what? Something which is hidden. So the answer to the question is hiding in this mantra. So the direct answer to that question, Kasminnu Bhagavo Vijñate Sarvamidam Vijñatam Bhavati. So answer to that is Yat Bhuta Yonim. The answer is here. Bhuta Yonim. Knowing that Bhuta Yonim, everything else will become as well known, as well known. We will explore this, verse. So what is that paravidya? That paravidya is about akshara brahma. Kim tad aksharam brahma? So what is that aksharam brahma is being explained in this verse. Yat tad adrishyam. Adreshyam. Adreshyam means adrishyam. Drishya is that which you see through your eyes or sense organs. Yat tad adreshyam. Adrishyam. That which cannot be perceived by sense organs. That which cannot be perceived by sense organs. That is the ultimate truth. That is the ultimate reality. That is God. That which cannot be. That is the essence of Vedanta. That is Brahman. What is Brahman? That which cannot be comprehended, that which cannot be perceived by senses, by sense organs. So some people, in their enthusiasm of sadhana, are waiting for Brahman to come in front of your eyes to see. It is not going to come. Upanishad is telling, I am not saying that. Yattad adreshyam. Agrahyam. That which is, grahyam means that that you hold, no? You grasp. That which cannot be grasped, cannot be held by any of the sense organs. Again, agrahyam. Agotram. Gotra means a particular group or a lineage. Lineage means what? One group. One group of people having a particular rishi as their originator will have a gotra. So that which does not belong to any group is the Brahman. It's the Akshara Brahman. Agotram. Gotra is also a designation, a name, that which does not have any particular name or particular category, does not belong to any group. That's why Agotram. Now, it is also everything Upanishad presents in a negative language so that we know where not to look for it. Do not designate Brahman, the reality, to a Gotram, because some people are so attached to the Gotram. They feel good also. Suppose that Gotram name in somebody's Sankalpa they hear, they feel good. It's okay. That is different. But then, if we are seriously searching for the truth, that Brahman, that Akshara Brahma, the Paravidya, then that is not just found in a setup of Gotra, and nor can be perceived by 5 sense organs. Cannot be held by the Karmendriyas and the Jnanendriyas also. Cannot be done. Avarnam. Avarna means two this thing, two connotation. One is color. Varna means color. No particular color. No particular color. Varna also means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. That is also Varna. 4 Varnas, 4 categories, 4 groups of people in this ancient society of Sanatana Dharma. Even now also we have it. So Avarnam does not belong to any particular Varna. Again, meaning it cannot be put in any category. See, what do we do in our regular knowledge? If you want to understand something or somebody, the easiest thing that we do is we put it under some category. Isn't it so? You meet a person. Oh, this person talks a lot. One category is there, person talking a lot. You put that person immediately to the category. Makes it easier for you to understand, transact, and relate. Things, good, bad, this, that, important, unimportant, expensive, cheap, this, that, we put category into category, then we can transact better. Similar is the orientation in Vedanta also. That categorical mind wants to now understand Brahman and wants to put in some category. Some category. wants to put it in some category. No, category less. Avarnam. That which does not have any particular external indriyas as such. That's why achakshuhu, without any particular eye. Meaning not physical, not necessarily physical. Achakshuhu. So, in the culture in Sanatana Dharma, a person, a good person, a bhakta, has faith and shraddha in Bhagavan. But somehow life does not always go the way we want. And we say, Bhagavan does not have eyes. Devrge kannilla. We often find that expression when we say, when we think that all the good people are suffering and bad people are enjoying, and they are not getting any punishment or anything. So we say, God does not have eyes. Yes, they are correct. Upanishad is telling achakshuhu. Achakshuhu. Meaning that ultimate reality, Akshara Brahma, is not one person with Indriyas sitting somewhere. That is the conception again. Mind wants to put it in some category. So that Akshara Brahma, we want to put it in category of having a personality sitting somewhere with eyes, ears, nose, everything. Achakshuhu. And Shrotram, Ashrotram, meaning that which are without any other indriyas also, devoid of all senses. That apanipadam, that reality, that Akshara Brahma is also without hands and legs. Apanipadam, without hands and legs. Many days I've been coming here and it was totally silent. The day we started class, yesterday onwards, it is so noisy. We will wait. Huh? Yes, those. Yeah, one or two can be open. Yeah, that can be open. That side you can.
They're stopping. They will stop.
So there is a small Vedantic technique when you are in situations like this, noisy. Be a witness of all sounds. I'm a witness of all sounds. So when you are a witness, nothing can disturb you. Nothing can disturb you. In fact, even a noisiest environment can be used for a Vedantic sadhana, where you see that you are a silent witness to all sounds. To all sounds. But here, we need that relative silence in order to make this text unfoldment possible, a possibility. So we are seeking a silent environment. Yeah. So, tadapani padam, without legs and hands. Meaning what? Do not conceive that ultimate reality as some physical object, a physical person, as a physical person. Why? Because if you designate the ultimate reality into a physical person, then that person becomes limited. Every object, anything physical is limited in its sense. So there is one object, it is limited in shape, size, the capacity, the power, what it can do. If it is here, it cannot be there. If it is there, it cannot be here. So it is limited. So the moment you designate the ultimate reality as just only one form, one name, one location, you have made that reality as limited entity. So rishis do not want us to put it in any categories. Keep it open. Exploration is still happening. Upanishad is exploring. Great Shishya is sitting. Maybe more capable in sadhana chatushtaya, more prepared than anybody. Such a Shishya is sitting. Still, the unfoldment is happening. Why? Because no need to conclude as yet. No need to conclude as yet. Apanipadam. And what is that ultimate reality? Nityam, that which is eternal, which is ever present. That which is ever present. You take any physical object, can you attribute Nityam to anything? Nityam, no. Nothing in the world. No object in the Jagat you can designate as Nityam. So we know that, we have to know that something more than physical we ought to know now, because this Nityam is not to be found in the Jagat anywhere. Vibhum, we will come to this word Vibhum. Sarvagatam, that which is all pervasive. Vyomavat, just like the space, that reality is all pervasive. Sukshmam, it is Sukshmam. It is very, what do you say? It is not gross, it is subtle. Sukshma is subtle. It is to be, some effort needs to be put in order to grasp it, in order to understand and appreciate it. Tad avyayam. Tad avyayam. Vyaya means perishable. One way where we use vyaya in language is that it gets exhausted. It gets exhausted. Avyayam. If you light up a karpur, camphor, vyaya happens. As even you light, the vyaya is happening. But this ultimate reality is avyayam, does not perish, does not get modified, or that does not come to an end. And that Brahman, that ultimate reality is yad bhuta yonim, and that is bhuta yonim, bhutanam yonim, that is the cause for all bhutas. Bhuta means all forms. Bhuta means not some scary entity. Bhuta means beings in Sanskrit. Beings. For all creatures, plants, animals, anything in the Jagat. It is the Bhuta Yonim. Paripashyanti dhiraha. So the dhiraha, the wise ones. Wise ones, see, very Upanishad uses very beautiful word for wise, a wise person. Even for a student of Vedanta also, the Upanishad addresses as dhiraha. Dhiraha means what? One who has strength, one who has courage. Also one meaning of dhiraha. And that courageous person, because the entire world is flowing in one direction. This person changes the direction of his life to look within, to inquire into the world. So avichara is there so much in the world at all levels. Even to put inside put something into our mouth, we have no vichara. Avicharataya, we transact. To talk something, we just mindlessly talk. No vichara. To read or listen to something, no vichara. You know the WhatsApp groups, everybody keeps sending as if everything is a great satyam. How did you know, Swamiji? We saw it on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is some pramana or what? If it comes on WhatsApp, okay, at least then by using the same logic, that person has to accept the Shastra if we get a WhatsApp forward to him. Upanishad. That they won't accept. Everything else is accepted. Everything else is taken, eaten without any vichara. No courage to do vichara also. no capacity, no courage to do vichara. Just life goes on without any vichara. But here, the wise ones are dhiraha, courageous people. Why? Because they're taking that extra courage to inquire into life. So, what is this life then? What is the true meaning? We are fundamentally, we have an attitude to recognize in this culture a power higher than us. So, what is it? What is that? Okay, traditionally, we have been receiving some information, some knowledge about Bhagavan, but truly, I want to see it for myself. I want to understand for myself. I want to do that vichara. So, those are the dhiras. That person is a dhiraha. Dhiraha understands this ultimate reality as what? Bhuta yonim. Yoni means cause. Cause for all creation, for all creatures, for all bhutas, for all beings. So now, Upanishad, that's why you need the help of a sampradaya to explore the Upanishad. See, the answer to the question which was there is in this now. So if you go by some English translation or Kannada translation or Tamil, something you take and go on reading it or something you do, how will you be able to correlate unless a sampradaya shows it? Now we will correlate. We will see that how did I receive it? From the sampradaya, from my guru. How did he receive? From his guru. So that is the uniqueness about the sampradaya. What is knowing that? Knowing which everything else is as well known. Knowing that bhuta yonim, the cause of the entire world. Now you see, if you observe the Jagat, two things you can appreciate: cause and an effect. Cause and an effect. If you know the cause, all effects can be understood. All effects can be understood. As long as you are taking each and every effect, examining it one by one, you're never going to make sense of what is around. Let us take example of our own life, our own family life. It's a family situation. So much has happened. So much effect is there. This person is angry, that person is angry. This person is fighting with that other person. This cousin is fighting with that cousin. This brother is fighting with this sister. So much is happening. So much is happening. You go on examining the effect. You can't make sense because everybody will have different versions. Now you go to the cause for all this misunderstanding. What is the cause for all this misunderstanding? Lack of communication, ego, greed. What else is for a family fight? Only this. So some one person in the family gets selfish. One brother gets selfish. One sister gets selfish. It's like squeezing lime into the entire pot of milk. So you see the cause. All effects become silly too. It becomes silly and so easily you can understand. Okay, oh, this started from here. This is the cause. This person's words are the cause for this entire mess. This person's deceiving something is the cause for this entire effect. By knowing the cause, the entire effect can be understood and appreciated. So much effect is in the body, as fever, as nose block, as this, that. Finally, they concluded, oh, cause for this is this COVID-19 virus. By knowing the cause, all effects as well understood. The death, the lockdowns, the this, that, everything. Okay, one could make sense of everything. So much hangama which was happening could now be understood by, okay, this virus is the cause. Now people are more deeply inquiring also. They seem to have found further answers also. So now Upanishad is presenting this. All the time, yesterday we saw that all the time we are searching for some or the other knowledge also in life, but nothing comes to a logical conclusion also, logical end also, or a satisfactory end also. So now Upanishad is telling, knowing that cause, knowing that Brahman, may you know that Brahman. What is that Brahman? As Bhuta Yonim, as the Nimitta Karana of the entire world. May you, by knowing that, everything well is as well understood. The same kind of a dialogue has happened in Chandogya Upanishad also. Shvetaketu comes from the Gurukulam, 24, he's 24. Anuchanamani, an expression is used by the Upanishad. He's proud of his learning. He has some air of arrogance in him because of all the learning of the Vedas that he has. You see, some of the people, these Vedic Pandits, they're very proud now also. Very arrogant, very arrogant. My God, can feel the arrogance if you're near them. But some people who keep that achar also very well, they know what it is. They're very humble people, the same Pandit, some people in the same group. So Anuchanamani, he has a lot of pride and he comes to his father and father sees it and asks him a question. Have you learned about that by knowing which everything else is as well known? Father asked the question to Shvetaketu. Shvetaketu, Uddalaka, the father asks. Then the Shvetaketu says, no. Now he's cut to size. He understands he has something more to learn, Then Uddalaka gives very beautiful examples. By knowing the gold, all the cause, all effects, all ornament, the entire prapancha of ornaments can be known. By knowing the nail cutter, the iron in the nail cutter, see, nail cutter was there back then, thousands of years. You can get to know all the objects made up of iron by knowing the iron. All objects of iron is as well known. It will be Nama Rupa will be different, but the cause is one and the same. You will appreciate that. May you know that.